How's it going, everybody? Nicky D here, coming at you live, man, yet again. And today we're going to be talking about the Hinge Dating app in 2023. Stick around. All right, yeah, so we're going back to the old school, man. We're going to hold the microphone up here. So we've actually sold the desktop off, surprisingly. And we're back to a laptop. So I figured, you know what? We're going to do some more videos like this. So anyway, let's get into it. So yes, Hinge 2023. So Hinge and Bumble are going to make a comeback here in the review series because they've been recently requested. You know, there's always new features coming out. And even in this video, I don't even have all the notes done. I just use Hinge periodically enough to remember what has transpired. In the video today, we're going to be talking about the account setup, the liking system, what you can buy, the subscriptions, any of the features of the app, and just overall the reviews and how everything's going down. So yeah, without any further ado, I think we should get into it. Keep in mind, any of the footage that I'm going to show you guys, by the way, is going to be on the app. So just from the iOS. Now, if I remember correctly, though, you can actually use Hinge online. I can't remember. I know Bumble you can for sure. So it's always something to keep in mind too. So I normally just review one. So like again, if they have like a website or an app, I'll normally just use the app because I think that's what most people are probably going to do. However, Hinge does have a nice little website though. It's very nice. It's very clean. When you go on the website here, again, we'll have footage showing what I'm talking about here. They very much try to get you to go on your last date. That's really what they want you to do. They really want you to try to get rid of the dating app. Again, if they really do want that, I really don't know. But yeah, so nothing on the website though actually like lets you make the account or anything. So you do have to use the app, but it definitely sets you up and gives you a little bit about their mission and all that fun stuff. We don't care about that. So I'm kidding. But again, it'll be on screen. So yeah, so going right into it. So let's go to the account setup. So the account setup, I would say, is actually pretty sleek and it's pretty easy to use. So Hinge, I would say, is probably one of the more like it just looks friendly, and it's easy to get through. I know the number one complaint for Hinge, which I find is finally ironic, is that the setup kind of takes a while, and I would actually disagree completely. I think it's pretty quick, but I think a lot of people are just used to Tinder setup, which is extremely fast, and you don't even really need to fill out so much information. So again, Hinge does take a couple minutes, but you're not answering like 50 multiple choice questions and then you don't understand the science, right? Is what I hear apparently from one person in particular. There's a minimum of 6 photos, so you actually have to upload photos. Now, unfortunately, what you're going to see a lot of the time is you're just going to see random photos getting uploaded. So like I've seen a girl's profile who had no pictures of herself. It was just of like beaches. So that is an issue, but in theory, it's good because, again, like you want to make sure someone has like a minimum amount, and a lot of the times, especially for scammers, they'll just do like one picture on an account. So that's interesting. Videos are allowed, by the way, so you can put videos in as one of those, and it actually lets you crop the video a little bit, which is cool. You have prompts on each photo and video, so you can put a prompt like, this is my side hustle, and it could be like me in my mafia outfit or something, or don't tell my parents or something, just something funny that can go with it. You can also put a little description under each photo and a location, which isn't too bad. I actually like that. Audio prompts are a thing. Now, I don't like audio prompts. I find they're really cringy, but you know what? Like, a lot of them are just really weird. Like, they sound really awkward, and it's kind of what you would think. So the auto prompt is like basically 30 seconds, and you can just say whatever you want, and it just flicks onto your profile. But I guess it's nice because they can like hear you. Personally, I don't like it, but I can understand where someone might like it, and get the appeal. Verification is a pain. I can't say it any better than that. So verification, basically, in most dating apps anyway, they usually just get, like Bumble, for example, they make you just make a pose. Like that. That's the thumbnail. That could be the thumbnail. No, so you have to do that, and then it just takes like 30 seconds, and it just registers, and you're good to go. Hinge, however, will make you do a video, and again, should be on screen, where you have to be in front of this camera, okay, and the camera, not a video, so not a picture, it'll be a video, and you have to be in front of it. You have to move you have to move away and then move it closer to you. And what'll happen is it'll take like 15 seconds, and for some reason it would just fail on me every single time, and it does this all the time. The only way I got it to make it work was I just took a picture of myself and uploaded it, like not actually one of my like posed pictures or like candid photos or whatever, just like a mugshot, like camera right here, just looked at it, took a photo, uploaded that photo, it worked instantly. So it's face recognition is supposed to be or something what it's going off of, and I just don't feel like it's really that great. Again, I struggled with it is an understatement. Like to say I struggled is an understatement. So yeah, that's a problem. Something to keep in mind is there's no bio, no biography. So your profile will have no bio attached to it. So what you're going to have instead is 3 prompts. Now the prompts range in like personal, something about you, maybe what you're looking for, something funny. So you can give like one of each, which is usually kind of good. Like something about yourself, like 2 truths and a lie. Will be a great match if, and then you just write in whatever you want to write. So that's typically what a profile will consist of. So once you're past that, you get a quick little tutorial, as most apps do. They just give you a kind of do this thing. And what you'll do is you'll get numerous amount of profiles will pop up right away. So you can actually just sift through them on your own. Like just normally, you don't have to, the thing is you don't have like a search criteria, like where you can be like, oh, okay, you have preferences, obviously, which we'll get to in a moment. But you can't just search like everybody online. You just get whoever pops up there for you. Okay, so basically just going to be anyone in Halifax, but in no particular order. So you have 10 likes per day for free. So I know that's, for some reason, everybody always complains in the comments, and I don't think they understand how dating apps work. So there's always a paid version. There's almost always a paid version of a dating app, and then there's the free version, which is what the majority of people are going to use, right? Because it's free, right? Like, it costs me nothing to send out likes. You know what I'm saying? So you get 10 likes per day. When you like something, you can like anything on a profile. You can like an audio prompt. You can like the picture. You can like anything. Anything they've put in their profile, you can like. And what you can do is when you like it, you can just simply send the like with no comment, or you can write something, and they'll see the comment. So you can be like, oh, hey, cool, like you like board games. I also like board games. What are some of your favorites? Something like that. That will be attached to the like. So that's actually a feature in Tinder and Bumble that you technically want to pay for, is to be able to send a message attached with a like. So this one, you can just send it just as is. Again, you can like anything in the profile. There's something called a rose, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But that's also basically your super like. And again, we'll come back to that in a moment. You can see one like on your profile at a time, and the rest are blurred. That's in the paid features, naturally. But anyway, how that works is if you have about 3 likes, it's right. I didn't have enough footage to even show you this. Enough likes, I mean. But if you had 3 likes, the first one who liked you will be shown, and you can see what they wrote, if they wrote anything or just matched you or liked your photo. And then you can choose to accept or say no to that. Then the second one will be unblurred, and you can see them in that order. So unfortunately, you just can't see all of them at once like that. But you can see the first one, which I also don't think is terrible. It could be better, but it's not terrible. So that kind of being said, there is something called standouts. But before we get to that, I do want to mention one of the biggest gripes I have, and there's a video I put on it too. So hopefully we'll put that in the info card above, right about now. So something, it's called just starting the chat or inviting you to start the chat, something like that will come up. So what that'll be is when you send a message to someone with a like, okay, so you're like, hey, how's it going? Whatever, just as an example. You send that message to someone. All they do is just accept it. So there's basically like a yes and no, right? In your likes, you can just go, yeah, cool. Like it'll just be like kind of like, I think it's a heart and an X. So if you hit the heart, it gives you an option to send something back, like a message, right? And then you start the conversation. The difference is they don't have to send a message. They can just send a like. And what that'll do is it'll send it back to you now in your messages tab, and you'll be invited to start the chat, even though you've already started it. So I've done a whole rant on that before, which again will be in the info card above. You can watch that there. But yeah, that's a pain in the butt as well. That's even an option is ridiculous. So standouts is where we're going to talk about the roses. So standouts is another tab in Hinge. That's basically your like, I don't even really know because, again, I don't understand the science. We're going to quote that a lot from now on. I think it's a good meme. Just some idiot telling me I don't know what I'm doing, which, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So, anyway, so they come in, and you'll get about 10 of them or so per week. and usually less. I think it's like 6 or something. Anyway, but the profiles are going to come in, and they're supposed to be like catered to you, okay? So maybe in your search preferences or whatnot. And the only way to message these women to like them or anything is to use a rose. Now, you can use the rose normally, or you can use it in the standouts, and that's kind of like your super like, right? So it's the only way to message these women. However, once the new batch of standouts come in, they just appear in your likes normally, in your regular searching, right? So you'll see them regardless, and you can send them a regular like. Anyway, the rose you actually have to buy, right? You get about 1 a week, I think, for free on a standard account, but of course you have to buy them. So let's get into it. So 3 roses will cost you $4.33 a piece, which works to $12.99. 12 roses are $3.33 a piece, which works to $39.99. And 50 of them is $1.99, and you get that's each, sorry, and that's $99.99 for 50 roses. Personally, I think this is a pretty big waste of money. I just don't see the point, especially where you do get them for free. That doesn't make any sense to me. But, what can you do? I also should I should note, by the way, too, just in the previous point of the account setup, too, a lot of people have video on their profile as well, with the audio prompt as well. So I think the video is kind of cool because you could actually put yourself on there and show yourself doing something. But I've seen some of them that are pretty hilarious, honestly, and just embarrassing, I think, for all parties involved. So just thought I'd throw that out there. My thoughts on that. But all right, subscription. I know you've all been waiting for it. So subscription. There's 2 subscription features here. You have Hinge Plus and Hinge X. Hinge Plus is your kind of basic subscription, and of course Hinge X is your premium. So let's get into it. So Hinge Plus, the unlimited likes, is one of your features. So you get past the 10 like limit. You can see everyone who likes you, not just the first one. You can see all of them at once. You can sort through your likes easily. I don't know what that meant. It didn't elaborate. You can fine-tune your preferences. And you can browse by location, activity, and more. So the last 3 points we'll talk about. So before we get into the cost. So the likes easily. So I think that what that means, if I remember correctly, is in all your likes, if you had a bunch of likes, you can actually sort the likes by who's near, who's at the top of the tab, who's closest to you, who's been online recently. I believe that's what that unlocks. But doesn't really elaborate. You can fine-tune your preferences, so you actually get new preference features. So some of them are locked down naturally. You can get distance and age, which is probably the most important. Literally, it's religion, do you have kids? Other stuff like that. It's just nothing I would ever pay for. You can browse by location, activity, and more. Ooh. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The DJ Pocket, for some reason, has its own mindset lately, just to randomly turn off 6 minutes in. So we were at the Hinge Plus features, so we're just going to quickly re-go through a second here, and hopefully I'll edit it up so it looks okay. So we were just talking about fine-tuning your preferences, so that some of the preferences in Hinge are actually locked down, and those preferences are just things I don't believe you should have to pay for. Such preferences would include, and do include, the ability to search for someone who has kids. Do they have kids? Do they not? Are they, what kind of, are they religious? And do they smoke? Things like that should just be free. You can sort by location, activity, and more. So in your main searching feature, you normally just have whatever profiles. You can go hey, are they recently online? Are they nearby me? Really close? That kind of thing, right? Interesting. Cost for Hinge Plus, $39.99 for 1 month. $79.99, which is $26.99 per month for 3 months, so $79.99, and then $119.99 for 6 months, which works out to $19.99 a month. Prices are a little high in my opinion, but not bad, but a little higher than I'd like. And I don't feel like the features are maybe offsetting the cost, in my opinion. Hinge X. So Hinge X actually gives you all the features of Hinge Plus, plus a couple more. So we'll talk about those couple more. Enhanced recommendations. Skip the line. You get recommended sooner to other profiles. Priority liking. Okay. All features of Hinge Plus. So literally there's no info card by these, nothing. It just doesn't explain really what those really mean. Again, I don't get the science, so I don't know what I'm doing. $69.99 for 1 month. is how that works out too. A lot of money. 3 months is $129.99, which is $43.33 a month. And then 6 months for the high price of $199.99, which is $33.33 a month for Hinge X. I will admit, this is one of the crippling things about Hinge. It is just so much money for that. I think it's actually pretty damn good and probably the best dating app at the moment on its own without the features. Like just using it bare bones, it's actually pretty good. But that's a bit ridiculous. So the reviews are interesting. Okay. Now, I'm not going to read all the reviews. Normally, we go through a bunch of them and kind of go through, but I'm just going to highlight the reviews so you just kind of get an idea of where we're at here. So, typically, I go on SiteJabber for a lot of my reviews, and they rip apart the sites. Now, they did no different on Hinge. Again, we'll have the footage up on the screen. I just did a scroll on SiteJabber where they're just tearing it to pieces. They're not happy with it. However, if you go in the App Store, out of 720,000 ratings, it's got a 4.5, and a lot of the reviews are actually kind of good. Like they're 4 or 5 stars. So it's really odd. Like I feel it's like really mixed, but maybe it's just because it's the two different sites. Like the App Store seems quite happy with it, whereas I guess SiteJabber's not. SiteJabber was just saying it was all scammers, and in my time of Hinge, I have really never met a scammer that's actually pretty legit of a website. You know, and maybe the verification helps as well, right? So that's funny enough. Deleting the account is probably the simplest it ever was. You literally just go to your profile, hit delete account. It's like, are you sure? Yep, and delete it. That's it. There's nothing you got to do. You don't got to chase anyone down. You don't got to follow up. You don't got to email anybody. That's it. Overall thoughts on Hinge 2023. Like I said before, I think it is probably the best dating app in my opinion. It's free. You get 10 messages per day, which is more than enough, honestly. Even if you run out of likes and someone has liked you, you can just start the conversation. You don't have to write this long bio, right? It's overall, it's pretty good. And I think it's one of the sleeker, more user-friendly apps as well. You know, it's very easy to navigate and figure out where it's going. It doesn't throw any bad features out there. I don't think there's anything like useless in it. Like sometimes they'll put like a useless feature that I'm like, why is it here? But they don't innovate, in my opinion, either in features like as well. Like there's not like a community tab or something that, you know, gives it a little bit of difference. But I think it's the leading example of where maybe dating apps should be heading. You know, and I like that you don't have to actually match. I think some people don't like that. That maybe, like, sometimes it is nice, I'll admit, that I can go on Bumble and just blindly swipe on somebody, and then I don't have to come up with anything. However, I think it's nice in Hinge that you can actually just message anybody that comes up, and you can just send them whatever you want, and you can actually pick something specific in the profile and be like, I like that. Or in Tinder, you just swipe right on them, and then that's the match, is that. So, I don't know. So that's Hinge 2023. I know I've done a review about in Hinge like 3 years ago, but it's always cool to keep up on it because there's always going to be new features. And if there is a feature I missed, because I haven't done all my notes yet, well, I'm in the video and I'll put something right after this so you guys can see that. But if not, thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're going to see you in the next one. If you guys have a specific video request and you're like the ambassador of a company, please email me at gordonnickdaniels@gmail.com. I am now taking requests, and we'll talk money. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching, you pencil pushers. If you guys want to check out my Instagram here, I've just got it in the background. It's Nick Daniels Photography with an underscore in between each word where I post every day. That's a lie. Thanks for watching. Peace.